Hey guys, today's video is gonna be about how to become a better player in T3 Arena. So, what I want to cover today is not actually talking about a specific hero, it's more about layout, settings, and accessories and all that stuff, which are definitely going to improve your overall gameplay. So that you better see what I'm doing with my hands and fingers, I'm gonna switch to that view now. And I have Sindri with me in the training round. I'm playing with a 4-finger layout, which means I can use like my two, thumbs and my 2 pointer fingers. And actually I'm gonna put my finger sleeves on. So the reason why a 4-finger layout is better compared to a more traditional 2-finger or 3-finger layout is purely the fact because you can use more abilities and more things at the same time. Without having to move one of your fingers from one position to another. I can actually demonstrate how it looks like if I put my jump button back right here, because that's kind of the default position of it. And if I want to jump and then place my rage ball with the same finger like up here while jumping, let's assume I would need to jump to put it up here, then I would need to move and then jump, and then it's pretty hard to move your thumb up there and then still do it all at the same time. So let's put it back. Let me explain this in a bit more detail. So I'm using my left thumb to move around. I'm using my right thumb to look around on the map, and at the same time, if needed, obviously I fire or I shoot with the same right thumb. I'm also using my right thumb to reload. I don't have that auto reload when disengaged on, because I think it's super annoying because it always starts reloading. At the same time, if you have it disabled, you need to make sure that if you're out of combat, you don't forget to reload. Okay, back to the layout. And with my right pointer finger, I'm using the active ability here on top. It's pretty convenient because I don't need to stretch my finger anywhere. It's right here. I can easily place my rage head or use the active with other heroes. Same for the ultimate, so I just have to move my finger a little downwards to enable the ultimate, and I can kind of quickly do it, even if I don't have too much time. So I can, for example, place my head here, then put my ultimate and then shoot. And as you can see, I'm jumping up and down because I already get used to it so much that I'm constantly jumping. And that's kind of the most important part of the layout. And why is that? So why do I recommend to jump around? Obviously, targets who are moving up and down are much harder to hit. And if you are jumping to the left and to the right, and in the meantime you can still aim at your enemy, then you're gonna have a huge advantage. This is kind of the main thing because why I would recommend you to think about a 4-finger layout or a 3-finger layout, because you can still use your active or put your active back down here and your ultimate if you don't want to use your right hand pointer finger. But I would highly encourage you to put the jump onto a place where you can independently press your jump regardless of what you're doing with the other fingers. Before we proceed, let me just quickly show you how that looks like if I'm doing it in real action. So I can, for example, if I would want to attack that Victor, I can jump over the wall, place my head, and then jump around him and attack him, and I don't have auto fire off. I did that all at the same time. I can put my ball back. So guys, please promise me one thing. After you finish this video, jump into the training ground and at least give it a shot, because it's super cool. At the beginning you're gonna struggle a bit and maybe you're not gonna know what you're doing on the battleground, but once you get used to it, you never want to switch back again. And I know, I'm using an iPad which has a slightly bigger screen, but believe me, I've been trying it on a phone as well, and it works there as well. And at this point, I need to say that we know that there are some high-end players playing from PC. And with this layout, I don't think they're gonna have that advantage anymore. So if we talk about like the traditional mobile setup where you have two fingers, yes, then in that case, obviously PC players have a much bigger advantage because they have the keyboard, the mouse, they can quickly move around. But with this layout, if you're getting used to it, I'm not sensing that advantage anymore. So you can super quickly move around, look around, and do a bunch of things at the same time. Oh, and one more thing, even if you're not going to customize your layout like mine, you can have something similar, because I know some players are actually having the shoot button on the left hand side and it's just different. But believe me, the most important thing you want to do here is to have the jump button on a place where you can individually, press that jump over and over again and get used to it. Just jump around on the map like, like a frog, like back, just jump around, because that's going to make you a much better player. And there are actually two phases when you start practicing this jumping around thing. So first you want to just jump around and get used to it, that you're jumping around all the time. That's like number one advice. But then the second thing is that you're gonna need to try to hit the enemy while you're jumping around, and that's like a bit more challenging, but over time you can get used to it. Alright, let's check the settings, because that's also important. I have my horizontal and vertical sensitivity on 80% and scope sensitivity on 60% by default. And why I'm saying that, so if I change, for example, to Mark, I put it down to 55, because Mark is slightly different. With him, you gotta make sure that you're aiming towards the enemy's head. For heroes who have like these plasma or heavy weapons like Labula or Sindri, in their case it doesn't really matter, because you're gonna hit the enemy anyways, and higher sensitivity helps you to quickly turn around on the map. But I think the 80-60 is a solid choice. In terms of assistive options, I have the two aiming assists on, auto reload when disengaged off for all of the heroes, and auto fire is based on the selected heroes. So for some I have it on, for some I have it off. I talked about this in the hero tier list video, in which I give some recommendations for which hero you should have it off or on. So, accessories. Let's start with these lovely little finger sleeves. I was a bit hesitant, so during the last couple of years I've been playing without finger sleeves, but I thought, hell, why not? I ordered some from Amazon, and for all of the accessories, by the way, I'm gonna put links into the description so you can find them, or you can find something similar. I'm sure Amazon is full with these kind of stuff, especially finger sleeves. Actually, I'm thinking of ordering a Razer version of the finger sleeves, because I'm pretty sure that's even better quality. But these are cheap finger sleeves and they still work. It's very easy to get used to them, because your fingers are not gonna get stuck on the screen, and it makes the movement like very consistent. Your finger never like slips or never gets stuck, and therefore after having them on, you never ever want to play without them. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is this desk stand. It's pretty heavy, so this is how it looks like. I'm gonna show you. And maybe the way I'm using it, it's not like the default way of using it, because people usually buy these desk stands to put them onto the kitchen table, and then you don't need to hold your iPad or tablet. I'm gonna just move it or adjust it and show it to you again, so you can have it like this as well. This is kind of the default way of using it, but it's easy to put it into a position where it's convenient to play while you're sitting next to a desk. And that's like an important factor, because I know that many of you guys just sit or lay down in the couch and then you have your phone in your hands, which is also fine. So even if I'm laying on a bed, I'm still using the stand. I'm just putting it on a pillow, and the big advantage is that you don't actually need to hold your device, and it doesn't move to the left and right. It's stable, it's very solid, and again, this is something that makes it easier for you to play, because there's one less thing you need to focus on. You don't need to hold your device. I think at this point it's worth mentioning that I'm not being sponsored by this company, but I have the link in the description. If you buy something via those links, then you indirectly support the channel, but if you don't want that to happen, then you can just hop onto Amazon and search for this product directly. If you purchase, then obviously it's much appreciated and welcome. Alright, the third accessory which I want to talk about is over here. I'm not using it right now, but these are the earbuds. So the reason why I recommend using earbuds or headphones, I think earbuds are a bit more convenient to use, because it's not like big headphones like these. You could use these as well or something similar, but these are small. You can not even sense that they are there. But I think I'm not gonna go into the details of promoting earbuds. I just want to talk about why I think it's better to use earbuds or headphones instead of listening or just using your mobile device or iPad. The reason is because while you're playing the game, if you're not using earbuds, you can still hear people shooting and running, but you don't really understand what's happening around you. If you have headphones or earbuds, you're gonna definitely hear if the enemy is next to you, they are a bit further away, are they on the right hand side, left hand side, and this again is a slight advantage. So if I'm, for example, doing free for all without actually looking around, if I close my eyes, I can hear where the enemy is, because over time you get used to these sounds. You can understand that, okay, I hear something from the right hand side, and based on the sound I can hear that he's standing or she's standing on the roof or building behind me. So without earbuds or headphones, you will never be able to do that. Maybe you're gonna hear some running, but you cannot identify where that sound actually comes from. Again, it's a slight advantage over those who are not doing it. And actually the last and fourth accessory which I want to talk about is like the chair. It may be super obvious, but if you want to have like a good gaming experience, you need to buy yourself a chair in which you can sit for hours. I'm using this chair for my daytime work as well, but whenever I do gaming, at least if I do it next to my desk, then I'm using this chair, and I can sit in that for hours, like for 10 hours straight without my back starting to hurt. So finding a nice place or good place to sit is also very important. I think this chair, you cannot buy it anymore because it's like the previous version of the Razer chair. But this edition, this product exists not in just Razer. Multiple brands adopted like kind of the same structure of this chair, and I think it's a pretty cool one. So as I said, I have 5 general advices which I want to share. Let's start with okay, I almost destroyed my microphone. By the way, I bought myself a new microphone. I can't wait for it to arrive. I bought myself a Beacon mic, which is like high-end microphone. So next year, I hope that my sound quality is gonna be even better than it is right now. sorry for sharing. I'm just, super happy about it and super hyped. Back to the advices. So advice number 1, be conscious. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that always set yourself like goals, milestones, or things you want to focus on in the next game, instead of just saying, okay, I want to win the next game. That's not enough. If you want to improve in the game, then you're gonna pick a hero like Ossas, for example, and try to aim in a way where you do a headshot. And if you can achieve that, for example, in the stats, you see that instead of 5%, my headshot percentage is now 15, then you achieve that goal. You can come up with something else. Based on this video, your first goal should be to update your layout and start jumping around, and if everybody would follow this advice, then everybody would like jump in the game. I hope it's not gonna happen, but at the same time, for my viewers, I want you to become better players, so definitely start jumping around, because the enemies are gonna hate you for that. Advice number 2, be a team player. Okay, at the end of the day, it's a 3 versus 3 game. It's not a 1 versus 3. So you have team members. And what happens usually, especially if you're playing solo, then you're gonna feel that you are doing things correctly and your teammates, don't follow you, they don't heal you, they don't support you. Just stop doing that and try to think a bit differently. Like, I'm sure you met those players who pick Chemist and Iris and they just don't heal you. So don't do that. Don't follow that example. If you're picking Chemist, which is a pretty obvious example, then try to be near to your teammates, and even if you would run to the right, if you would be on your own, but that hero or that teammate is running to the left, then follow him, and if he dies, do your best to keep him alive, even if he dies. I mean, yeah, you got it. Guys, be a team player, okay? That's it. Be a team player, and always be open to be that person who is, supportive or adjusting his or her game style to support the team. That's it. Advice number 3, boost your friend list. And I know that some of you already have a decent friend list, but some of you are, let's say, hesitant to play with other players, because if you play solo, then, most likely people are not gonna blame you. But if you're queuing up as a team, your responsibility and your stress level is slightly higher, because you don't want to be that person on the team who results a loss or a defeat. And therefore, just get used to it. It sometimes happens. It sometimes happens to me that I join a party and it's a bad moment and I die 5 times. I don't have any kills, and people tend to play with you until the point you win. After the first game you lose, many are quitting the team. Many give it a second chance, but after the second loss, they usually everybody quits. Obviously there are rare exceptions, so if you're playing with friends, that's different, but with random players, this is the general way of acting. But guys, even if you have a bad moment or a bad game, and they leave and they think that you are the worst player in the world, who cares? I mean, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. But still, if you are queuing up as a team, especially in casual, but also true for ranked, but in casual, if you're queuing up as a team, you have better chances, because teams can actually play face solo players, and therefore queuing up as a team is gonna be always an advantage over those who are queuing up on their own. So boost your friend list. Don't be shy to fail, and this is how we improve. This is the nature of life. We always fail sometimes, but then we stand up, we revive, and get back into the fight. So don't be shy. Boost your friend list. Advice number 4. This applies to ranked and advanced game modes. Hero selection, to be more precise, be the one on your team who is open to adjust. So if you see that somebody decided to pick a flanker, the other player is picking Osas or Hualing or whatever, and you are on the payload escort, need to escort the payload, then pick Jabali or Victor or Ford, because it's gonna increase your overall chances to win the match. Even if you are not a Jabali main player, be that kind person who, in the support for the team, decides to pick a hero that actually fits that game mode. Last but not least, guys, maybe this is kind of the most important thing. And it has nothing to do with T3 specifically, but my fifth and last advice is to never give up, never surrender, never feel that I'm gonna close the game, never rage out, because there's always a chance. I've been winning so many games back in the days where I played Mobile Legends a lot, where the team wanted to give up. In that game you have that option to give up. Here we don't. But even if you are playing a team deathmatch and it's 10-0, don't give up, okay? This is very important, because your mindset, the way of thinking, also reflects in the way you play. I don't want to turn this, guys, into some kind of motivational speech, but since I'm talking to more than 500 people already, I feel like that I have some level of responsibility, and whatever I'm saying, some of you are gonna take it seriously. So I want to give you advices that actually help, not just in the game, but in life in general, okay? So never give up. This is my closing thought, and thank you for sticking around. For new viewers, if you are new, then now is the time to subscribe for some more ShadyFox stuff. And my beloved ShadyFox gang, thank you again for watching my video, and see you in the next one. Bye. Time to revive.